All right, welcome to another episode of Real Estate vs. Technology. I'm your host, Norman Kinsey. We have our co-host, Mr. Dan Gandy. Welcome, Dan.
Thanks, guys. Glad to be here.
Always great to have you, Dan. And today we have a very special guest. This individual is a real estate professional, but then he's also an investor, and he's flipped 500 homes. I mean, his resume speaks for itself. You don't know who he is. His social media links down below. We got Mark McMahon on Real Estate vs. Technology. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, Norman. I appreciate it. Dan, how's it going?
It's going good, man. I'm glad to have another investor on here. We have them on from time to time, and it's always a good story and a good episode.
That's funny. We did a live last night. Of course, this is going out in a couple of weeks, but we did a live last night with a real estate agent because, you know, when I first started on social media, it was for real estate agents. That's what it was. It just flummoxed me to no end why real estate agents wouldn't invest in real estate. Didn't make sense to me. And so I went to a Tom Ferry event. I talked to a bunch of people, and it's like, yeah, I have a house. So anyway, this is near and dear to my heart.
I love that. I was just telling Dan before we got on the air, I was like, hey, we got someone in your sector because he's an investor, exit agents over in the Oregon market. But Mark, let's get into your business. Let's get into how long you've been in the business. And, you know, why did you get started in the real estate business? I've seen you kind of start as a traditional agent. Now you kind of moved into flipping and you own some units. And so let's kind of get into your backstory really quick.
So, you know, just go back to pre-recession. I'm a contractor by trade.
Okay.
Recession hits, lose everything. Decide, hey, I know an easy way to make money. Let's become a real estate agent. So, you know, the quick money's there, right? Mm-hmm. So I got my license. While I was repoing houses for the bank, I was also a real estate agent. I ended up working with 2 buyers that first year, and it was a grind. It was such a grind, you know, working and doing all that. And then we also kind of got started in the investment sector too. And I won't go through the sob story. If you guys want to see it, it's on my Instagram. But we really honestly lost everything, bottomed out. And I found this investment club through a title officer. And at that point, we were really at zero. We had about $100 left to our names.
Wow.
And the light bulb went off in my head. I went out the next day and started cold calling mobile home managers in Orange County, California. And finally found someone to sell me one, and I flipped it, made some money, lost money on the next couple, and then made money on another, broke even on my first house, made money on my second house, and I was kind of off to the races. I mean, I've lost a lot of money since then, but but you know, it's been a grind. So it's 12 years ago we started investing.
Okay.
Investing by that I mean flipping.
Yeah.
And then about 2 years after that, we bought our first income property, and we've been buying since then and flipping since then and wholesaling. And we also still, you know, is it okay if I say, because I want people to know this if it's okay.
Yeah.
We end up making a lot of money. I just sold one of our houses, and we made $20,000 from the commission on it because I listed my own house. Right. So,
I love it.
And we do that time after time after time. So I think probably by the end of the year, we'll have made $150,000 to $175,000 listing our own houses. If it's close enough, I list it. If it's not, I give it to somebody else. But I mean, that's a ridiculous amount of money to make. That's more money than I probably ever made as a contractor. And that's just on the side with a transaction coordinator doing all the work. Guys, it's mind blowing.
Wow. That is amazing. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, great. I'm going to flip this house. I'm going to go buy it. Well, why don't I also represent myself? I'm a licensed real estate professional on top of the fact. And then you make that as well. I mean, that's so smart. So since those 12 years, it sounds like you've done about 500 is what you've done now, 500 flips.
Yeah. So about 300 of those were partner flips, turnkey investments in Tennessee.
Wow.
So, and the other 200 were flips that we did here, whether they were turnkey. We did a lot of turnkey rentals in LA, and also up in Sacramento.
Wow.
So we've done quite a lot. Yeah.
It's amazing. Is it just you and like you have a team, or how does that work?
Oh yeah. I can't do anything on my own. So you've talked to Allie, I think, and Allie is my social media manager, because I have to have one of those now.
Yeah.
And she does so much more than that, though. She's just an amazing young lady. She keeps me straight, and my wife, Yuko, runs the back office.
Okay.
Handles the escrow stuff that the transaction coordinator Jennifer doesn't handle. She does, her and her assistant Yuko, two Yukos, raise capital, disperse capital, pay off investors, handle all the social media on the Japanese side.
Wow.
And then we've got Sauce the Boss, who is Austin Quick, who is in sales and also is starting to handle some of the flips. Unfortunately, Max, which is Allie's brother, just left the company a week ago to go to college full time and join a fraternity. And he was one of our top producers here. And then we've got several other people that bring us deal, but they're not in the office all the time. So long answer, but
no, it's totally cool.
A lot of pieces.
Yeah.
I know. It's amazing, but it's all manageable, and it sounds complicated, but it's really not. So.
Yeah. No, definitely. And as soon as you kind of get into it, it makes a lot of sense. And I have one last question before we're going to change up the camera angle, give it to Dan for a mix-up round. So it looks like one thing that stuck up for me as far as technology, real estate versus technology, from traditional ways of marketing to now technology ways, it looks like your Instagram. I mean, you've done an amazing job with your Instagram, and it looks like not only have you attracted business for like the flipping and wholesaling and that type of stuff, but now like it looks like courses and training other people to do pretty much what you do. Would that pretty much be right?
Yes, absolutely. And I found that's the best way. We do boot camps. We've got an online course. And what's cool is these people bring us deals too. And we also get investors that want to invest in our projects. And you can't actually go out and ask people if they want to invest with you. That's against all those rules. Yeah. But we say it in such a way that it actually brings investors to us. And once they come to us, then we're all good. So it's done a lot, and it will continue to grow. It's growing and growing, and the opportunities just get bigger and bigger every single week. And it's amazing. It took 2 years to get here, and a little over 2 years now. And it's just amazing how much more it grows every week or every month. Just boom, 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 boom.
Man. So for the viewers and listeners out there, a lot of real estate agents are listening that have these big commission checks. Imagine the possibility of buying your first flip and then also listing it, and then you obviously get commission from that, and what you potentially could do to be able to have some additional income, or even like a rental property. I mean, what you're doing, Mark, is phenomenal. I absolutely love it. I think that's what we want to do here in Real Estate versus Tech, is show individuals that are listening in and watching, there's other possibilities here. It's not just the next listing, to buy a new car.
If we've got a minute, I can tell you what the opportunities are. If we've got it. So as a real estate agent, you're in a really unique position to get a lot more business, because you can offer options to your clients. You don't just have to get a listing. If they don't want to list it, you walk away generally, right? So what if they don't want someone in their hoarder house because they're embarrassed? What are their other options? Well, maybe you can buy it yourself and flip it. Maybe you can find somebody else that wants to buy it for cash, and you can get a commission that way. Build up your buyers list, work with other investors, because half the houses we get, 40% of the houses we get are non-MLS deals. They come from cold outreach, warm outreach, people calling us calling people. And guess what? Those people are never going to call a real estate agent because they hate them with a passion, right?
Yep.
We all know that.
Yeah.
There's a certain group of people out there, pretty large, that don't want to deal with anybody. So don't ever walk away. There's always ways to capitalize on a lead.
Wow.
It could be seller finance. Maybe they don't want to, maybe it's a pissed off landlord and they don't want to realize all the capital gains at once. And that's their biggest fear. Okay, owner financing. I'll give you something down. I'll give you something monthly. You can pay it off short and in a long over the long term. There's always an option. Always an option.
Wow. I love that. So everyone listening out there, Mark's carved out his own segment in the market to basically work with people that don't want to work with real estate professionals, that want to work with you. And I'm sure if you've mustered up business because of your Instagram from people reaching out to you, because you're just leading with value and educating the process. And if I said, hey, I got an ugly house, I need to sell it, whatever. I'm sure you have also stories like that. So I digress. I'm going to send it over to Dan over here so you can get the mix up round, because I'm sure he
All right, Dan, let's go.
I'm going crazy now because I run my real estate business and my investments business exactly to the T of your recipe. And that is
so cool. That is so cool. I mean, it's common sense, right?
I run it like a wholesaling business. I just don't assign contracts typically.
Yeah.
I go out, I find the listings. They don't want to list it. I find them a cash buyer, off-market deal, owner finance. Having those solutions at your fingertips is what really allows you to be an agile agent, is what I usually typically say.
You know what? If more people thought that way, it would be amazing. And I've got, this is not a plug, but it's funny that the course that I have online teaches people how to wholesale. But guess what? Wholesale is almost, it's a dying business, right? But if you learn how to wholesale, it teaches you everything you need to know about investing, right? Because basically it boils down to 90% finding the deal, 10% figuring out what to do with it. So if you can find the deal, I mean, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. I mean, that's a whole movie. But no, if you can find the deal, you can be an investor. But if you don't have deals, you haven't got anything.
Yeah.
And I got some questions about tech, right? Because the investment side of the business is just as sophisticated as the agent side when it comes to lead generation, follow up. Really, what is the one or two, maybe three pieces of technology that really help your investment business have scalability?
You're gonna laugh at me. And you won't really laugh at me, but we have a massive amount of technology here. And I'm not involved in much of it. We use Asana to organize everything, and it's task oriented. You know what Asana is? It's task oriented. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's just say roughly 10 people on there, and there's a couple of ringleaders. There's my wife and Yuko Yu, who pretty much are in charge of whatever goes in there and whatever comes out. But that one piece of technology alone right there eliminates a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails. Am I on it very often? No, because I'm known as the guy that doesn't go on that stuff very often. A robust CRM is really important. We use a Deal Machine as a driving app when we drive around, both to send postcards out, but also to do quick property searches right there. I mean, the list goes on and on. There's so many things that we pay for every month. In fact, we actually have to go through an audit every couple of months, what we're paying for. And just Monday was audit day. And I think we knocked out $1,500 in payments that day.
Wow.
Just because we try things and see if it works. And then my wife is good enough about auditing it, so we don't keep it going for a long time. But everything here is technology based. And the funny thing is I'm not that technology based. You won't see me on a lot of these things, but I have a lot of really, and the reason I say that is because there's a lot of guys out there in my age group, I'm 58, that either caught on to technology or didn't. And I was pounding nails, 12 years ago, not literally, but figuratively. And I never went on the computer. And ever since then, I've been really reluctant. And it's not because I can't learn, it's because I don't want to. But I've been able to find all these smart young people that can help me, right?
Yeah.
So if there's so many people out there my age, what I was saying is that you can't figure it out. You don't want to figure it out. It scares you, whatever. There's a workaround. There's always a workaround. So
wow. I love that.
Huge. And then, I think the biggest part of the story of your progression or your career is that you were at rock bottom. You made some phone calls, you made some things happen. That's obviously inspirational. But what is the biggest piece of advice that you would give anybody who's like, hey, I know nothing about real estate, wholesaling, holding, anything?
Yeah.
What would you say to them?
It's going to take 4 months to get your first deal, whether you're a real estate agent or an investor. It's going to take 4 months.
Wow.
And if you can hold out for 4 months, you will pick up momentum. It'll take a couple of years to get where you want to be or where you want to begin to be. You just have to have patience, and you have to have a lot of work ethic. If you can't do that, if you know you can't do that, then a day job is the thing for you. I'm sorry to say. But if you've got that spirit, which I don't have as much drive as people give me credit for, I get things started pretty quickly, and then I'm a hand or offer guy. And but even that works. Look, a guy that doesn't have a lot of technology skills, a guy that hands things off because he's extremely ADD. I was one of those kids, and I still am able to succeed at this. So there's no excuse for not. And so the biggest piece of advice is, I hate saying grind because I know it's a Gary Vee thing, but you've got to grind for a while to make it happen. I mean, would you agree with that?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. When I got in this business, somebody said to me, expect disappointment and appreciate success. Yeah. And I was like, what is he talking about? And I was like, oh, this real estate business is like 95% disappointment and 5% like a happy day. So,
but the good thing though, the one thing, the second piece of advice is, have a lot of things, a lot of deals in the hopper. Don't, I mean, how many real estate agents do we know that get their first deal and they stop marketing, they stop calling, they stop knocking, they stop sending out postcards to work on that one deal. And then they've got that huge ass gap in their pipeline. And then they get another deal 4 months later and they do the same damn thing again. So they're only able to do 2 or 3 deals a year. And in the Midwest, what is that? You got 300.
That's a calculator, everybody.
2.5.
I love it.
I was going to say, is that a
calculator? So you're making $7,500 freaking dollars a deal. If you're in the Midwest, can you live on, what is that? That's $22,500 a year.
No. That's why the failure rate is like 80% or 90% of real estate agents.
But 90% of the failure rate, 95% of the failure rate is due to the fact that people stop when they get a listing, if they even get one. If they even get that far, they just stop. It's like, whoa, I got one. Damn.
You're bringing up a good point.
I'm gonna do some escrow stuff. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go meet with I'm gonna go have a drink at the bar. I'm gonna buy a new BMW. Blah blah. Blah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I try to tell everybody, like, and this is part of, not a plug for the event we're having, but building systems and building that consistent lead generation outreach is all about, like, it's nonstop. When you're asleep at night, the marketing is still happening. And so many agents, like you said, they get a big deal done, they go buy a BMW, and then I'm like, hey, how much money did you put down on it? They're like, 30 grand. I was like, you know how many more deals you would have got with $30,000 in marketing?
Yes.
I know. And it doesn't all work.
Yeah.
So going into it that a lot of your marketing isn't going to work. It's a shot in the dark. So that means you need even more to figure out what you need to tweak it. And you got to tweak it constantly every single day.
Yes.
So anyway, I'm kind of passionate. About the agents that are out there that are making money, but 2 things: they stop marketing, and the second thing is they spend all their damn money on stupid shit. Oop.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good.
Yeah, you're fine.
We get flagged on YouTube anyways. It's all right.
I love it.
No. Allie sent me something on YouTube yesterday. That word's allowed.
I love it.
There you go.
Just not in the first 30 seconds. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Those are the things that are kind of near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, that's all good. Well, let me pass it back to Norm.
Okay.
Man, that was awesome, Mark. So I got a last couple of questions, and we always like to end the shows out with opening the floor up, so that way you can leave some gold nuggets, which you've already done, for our viewers and listeners. And for me, looking at your Instagram, how has video impacted your business when you started getting into video marketing?
You know what? It didn't at first.
Okay.
It didn't at first. But here's one thing it did though. It got me more comfortable. I've never been uncomfortable talking to people. I've always been pretty good talking in front of people. But it got me better. It got me better. It got me, I'm able to think of the next sentence before I say it now, more so. And it got me better on phones, even though I'm not on phones much anymore. It got me better in front of clients. It did a lot confidence-wise. It's a great confidence builder. Just practicing. It's like practicing your scripts. You know, you're gonna jump off that script, right? Every single time. You're never gonna use the script.
Yeah.
But yet you practice them, hopefully, every day for 45 minutes with somebody, so you get more comfortable with the words. And that's what social media does for you, is it allows you to carry a conversation longer, and it allows you to listen even. I mean, I know I'm doing half of the talking here, most of it.
Totally fine.
But I also know how to listen too, if that becomes come as a surprise, but I do. Wow. So listening skills and using different verbal techniques and watching what kind of response you get from that and what works and what doesn't work. And it's like, okay, why did I get 250 likes or 500 likes on this one video and I got 30 likes on that video? Well, maybe it's the way I was talking and my posture and expression. You know, you can do all kinds of stuff with it. So
I love that. I got to say, you're probably the first person you've ever said how you said what you said in regards to the video helped with your overall delivery, from the phones to the way that you show up and the way that your confidence is. So I love the fact that you put that out there, because that's a huge thing. Met an agent yesterday and she was just not down for video, and that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, no doubt.
And the last question I have for you is like, what is your secret weapon? So like, say for instance, you found a home, you know, you got someone who's in it who maybe it's a bad looking home, maybe it's hoarders, who knows? Like, what's the secret weapon? Like, what is maybe like, for people that are listening and viewing, like a secret weapon or something that you use to help with building the confidence of the person that is on the fence of potentially selling their home to you? So how do you approach that?
Well, number one, again, we have good listening skills.
Okay.
And we know how to speak to people in such a way that they'll talk back to us. So, you know, you answer a question with a question, you end every sentence with a question, you know, because you want to lead them down the path that you choose. The other thing is, and that's just a sales technique, but the other thing is we will help them do anything they need. So you need to move across the country, we're there for you. We will bring people over here to pack the truck for you. We'll pay for the truck. Now, we won't drive the truck, but we will take your house as is. You know, people don't realize that they can do whatever they want to when they sell to us. I mean, as far as they can leave whatever they want. If there's drums of oil, you've dealt with this, right, Dan?
Yeah.
There's drums of used oil in the back. Now, we'll adjust the price accordingly, but we had one yesterday that sold in LA, let's say. And it was a hoarder situation. And these ladies just want to take some of the stuff. And so we're going to get a moving van over there. We're going to get movers over there. We're going to get them packed up. They're moving to Texas, and then we'll take care of the rest. So it's just, you know, changing locks. I mean, working with people. Look, if you want to get people's attention, you got to go above and beyond. There's a lot of us cowboys out there buying houses.
Yeah.
I'm not the only guy in town. So we go above and beyond. Our money is real. You know, we have access to a lot of cash, and we can close very quickly, and it's relatively painless. So that's our secret weapon. But a lot of people can do that. So it boils down to your people too, you know.
One quick question before we kind of, what do you, when you turn on HGTV and you see all this TV investment,
glitz and glam.
Sure.
What's your feeling on it?
You know, Tariq is, you know, one of my competitors, you know, from what was it?
That's why I was asking.
Yeah. I mean, he's, you know, it's funny. I lost a house to him, I don't know, about 8 months ago. I had it, contract, everything was good. And then she took it to her attorney. And
deal breaker.
And this attorney knew Tariq. This guy's contract probably looks a lot better than this guy's contract. So anyway, I mean, it's humorous, right? I've been watching HGTV. I don't watch it anymore, but my wife and I were watching it years ago when it was at the Maldonados or whatever, the very first flipping show on HGTV or what A&E or whatever it was on.
Yeah.
And we'd look at it and go, we were just starting to flip it. And it's like, that ain't real. And yeah, I mean, obviously, Dan, a lot of the costs aren't put in there. They don't, and they manufacture all the drama and it's not that exciting. It's not, there is drama, but it's not dramatic.
Yeah. I bring that up just so anyone's out there who wants to get into investing or is listening to this, right? You can't base your premonition or your dreams and your motivation to get in is great. But I try to tell everybody like the raw and dirty of investing is like, you got to get out there and do it, right? You got to have hard conversations with people. You got to be like told, shut up. Don't ever call me. I hate you. You're worthless. All of that experience is really what molds you into the investor you need to be.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we do tell everybody that comes into the office that it's going to be 4 months before you get your first deal. We just did a boot camp with 21 people and 17 stayed. Three or four people left after they kind of understood what was expected of them. And, these guys did the cold calling for 3 months, and we require that you're on the phones for 3 months because at that point, it's painless. And I don't think I could get on the phones for 3 months right now. I know I couldn't. I don't have what it takes anymore to do that. But once they do that, then we open them up to MLS and cold outreach so that they can do both. Because MLS is a little bit easier. What I love about MLS is that everybody wants to sell that you call. It's like everybody you call on is like, yes, I do want to sell. So it's better. They might not like your offer, but at least you've got a yes right up front.
Cool. I love that. And the one thing I just wanted to add to what you said before Dan chimed in there is leverage. For all the viewers and listeners out there, I love the fact that you're leveraging leverage, Mark, to be able to say, hey, it's all in the price. So you want us to move you need movers, you need this, you need that. We'll take care of you. Don't worry. We're not driving the truck, but we'll get you the truck and all that stuff. That's amazing because then it's painless and it's like, okay, great. Here's my house. This is what I want done. So I absolutely love that. To go ahead and end our show today, we're going to go ahead and change the camera angle, put it on you, Mark. And what do you want our viewers and listeners to take to end today's episode?
If you guys are interested in getting into investing and being a real estate agent, okay, Dan said it, if you can do those things that we talked about today, I swear your career path will change. Because now all of a sudden you've got options for people that you didn't have before. I mean, how many calls do you go on and hear no? Versus there's no reason to hear no on this unless they just like Sally better than you. And if that's the case, then you need to go back and practice more. But just keep your options open. I mean, I always talk about, a quiver full of arrows. You want more arrows back in your quiver. So just make sure that you've got the options to give people and you know what you're talking about. So practice. Shameless plug, go to my Instagram, go to my YouTube and listen to my free videos. It costs nothing. And I go over every single thing. I think I got like 15, 1600 videos in there. And I used to do long ass videos too, with a lot of detail. So if you want to go back in history, you can get the short, quick stuff now, but the history is long stuff. And then of course, YouTube is much longer explanations. So,
wow.
Love it. Grind, just get out there and grind for a while. And then I don't have to grind so hard anymore now.
I love that. Put in the work, grind when you're younger. So as you get a little bit older, you can just enjoy the fruits from your labor. Yes. Mark, thank you so much for being on the show. All the links will be below. So everything's down there.
Thanks, Dan.
Of course, man. Dan, thanks so much for being on the show. Appreciate your co-host.
100%.
Appreciate it.
It was fitting. Same industry. I'm like,
no, that's awesome. I love that. We'll talk later, Dan, because
definitely. You should definitely connect, and everyone should connect with Mark. And thank you, all our viewers and our listeners, as it is our intention for you to take some from our episodes to apply to your business, have more massive success, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching Real Estate vs. Technology, this week's brand new episode, and making it to the end, your real one. If you haven't already done so, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified for new episodes that come out every single week on Fridays at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. Also, if you comment on this episode and you like the episode, you'll help this episode get out to more individuals. And if you want to join our Facebook group page, just click a link. It's a Facebook icon on our profile page here on our YouTube channel. Join our group page, network with individuals all across the world, and share what technology you're using to grow your business. The next link is to join our Real Estate vs. Technology brand new IG or Instagram page. If you go on any of our stories, you can see who's going to be on Real Estate vs. Technology before it actually goes live on our YouTube channel. And the last link would be if you want to be on an episode of Real Estate vs. Technology. You pick a date and a time, we'll deep dive into your story and technology you're using to share that with other individuals that view our episodes weekly to inspire, enlighten, show up, and show out for people that love to watch these type of podcasts to have more success in their own business. Thank you so much for your continued support. We appreciate it. We will see you on the next one.